Hey everyone, what's up? I thought today I would do a video on a very hot topic, and that is what the heck to post on social media, specifically on Instagram. So today's video is actually made in collaboration with Later. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Later before. It is really the premier scheduling tool specifically for Instagram. Later's goal is to simplify Instagram marketing and make it accessible for businesses of all sizes. And I think that they do a fantastic job of that. They have multiple different plans that you can choose from. I actually am gonna have a code for you. I'll link it down below where you can get a month of their growth plan for free just to test it out, see how you like those additional features. But even the free plan has amazing scheduling capability. One of my favorite things about the tool is obviously being able to see a visual representation of your feed as a grid, because that's really important to make sure that your Instagram feed still looks good even when you're posting all of these different content types that we're going to talk about. And I also love the saved caption feature because it is a really great way to save different hashtag sets. I like to do as much of my research in advance so that when I am posting, I'm not having to think of hashtags on the go, and Later really does a great job of making that possible. You can also manage all of your media within Later, which is great. So you don't have to, share all these different Google Drives and Dropboxes and all that back and forth. If you have a team or an assistant or a client that you want to share content back and forth with, you can store right all in Later. And of course there's analytics, so you can actually see how things are performing. So again, I am going to have my coupon code linked down below. Make sure to check them out, say hello, and let's hop into the tips. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do when deciding what to post on Instagram is figure out what you're trying to accomplish with Instagram. No, getting more followers is not applicable here. That's fair. I guess we all want more followers, but that is not a business goal necessarily. I want you to think about, do you or your client want to get more bookings? Maybe you're a salon or a restaurant and you want to get more reservations. Maybe you're an e-commerce store and your goal is to get more sales, drive revenue. Maybe you're a nonprofit and you're looking to just get the word out about your free events and your free resources for the community. Now, most every business their goal is going to be revenue, right? But how Instagram marketing fits into that revenue puzzle is really what we're trying to figure out here. So it's important to understand the marketing funnel. Number one, there's really three main stages. You'll see a marketing funnel divided up into multiple different stages, 5, 6, 3, but let's just talk about the main three right here: awareness, consideration, and conversion. Top of the funnel or awareness content is going to be that content that really just lets people know who you are and it really establishes a presence on the platform. So for example, I just posted an Instagram story the other day that had nothing really to do with my business. It got some of the highest engagement and highest views for an Instagram story that I posted in such a long time. It was like one of those little viral quiz, get to know me quiz kind of things. And the benefit of doing something like this is that it boosted my engagement. So now when I go to post something that is about a new program I'm launching, or is about, hey, check out a video or buy my course or do this or do that, the Instagram algorithm is going to see that all those people had just engaged with my story and they want to see more of what I have to say. So that's kind of top of the funnel content. And then the course content, the video content, all of that content is more middle of the funnel. And then of course, when I'm asking someone, hey, go sign up, the course is launched now, my coaching program's open, that's going to be conversion content. So figure out what you're trying to do and what the customer journey is going to be so you can kind of know what types of content to post and when and in what sequence. Number two, the next thing you're going to want to figure out is who you're speaking to. So one of my favorite exercises that I like to do is, if I'm working with a new client, I say, okay, do you have any super fans? Any, people who just love your brand, are big fans of yours, or maybe just people who are smaller influencers or something like that, who would be your ideal client? Let me kind of look through their page a little bit, and I'll go through and I'll take a look at the companies that that person is following, the hashtags that they're following or that they're using in their own posts, kind of what they're into. You really immerse yourself into that ideal client, because it's always important to keep front of mind, you're not creating Instagram content just for you. You're creating it for your ideal client. Your ideal client is an 18-year-old who loves TikTok, who loves funny videos, who loves viral trends. Your brand should probably be doing that in an authentic way if it makes sense to. You probably shouldn't be posting stuffy, boring, old school Instagram content, right? So yeah, research these different accounts, research brands that they're following, research influencers they are following, and start to put together kind of a brand tone and voice and style guide based off of those things. Next, you're going to want to establish some content pillars. So once you know kind of what your messaging is going to be, what the tone of voice is going to be, you're going to want to decide, okay, what are we actually talking about? So content pillars are basically different buckets of content that kind of hold your message up, and they really help you solidify your niche. So I recommend really about 3, maybe 5, but 5 is kind of a lot because once you start talking about 5 different things, your message starts to get really muddied and confusing. So I'll give you an example of what my 3 content pillars are. Number 1 is freelance lifestyle. So I talk a lot about working from home, my home office, just enjoying my place that I live in and working with my partner in the house sometimes, loving pajamas, comfy clothes, coffee, things like that. It's important to also be able to tie these pillars to revenue or to your business goal in some way. So while that might seem like kind of fluffy, fun content, number 1, it is. It's more of that top of the funnel content. I'm not really selling when I'm posting that type of content. I'm just sharing my lifestyle, but it does still support the business goal because what it does is people follow me. They see, oh my gosh, that's so cool. She works from home. She loves going to work every day, walking over to her office every day, wearing her comfy slippers every day. I want to do that too. So then they get intrigued and they start following me and trying to figure out, how do I do that? How do I work from home full time? How do I have the freedom to kind of choose my own schedule and do what I want? The second pillar for me is marketing advice or marketing tips. So I'm sharing in my captions, hey, here are some things that really helped me build my business. Maybe I'm resharing other stories from other people talking about the algorithm, and maybe I'm resharing posts from Later's Instagram account, things like that. And then lastly, I would say it was travel. Obviously, I'm not doing a lot of traveling right now. So I would say it's more of just like my personal life. I'm getting married soon. I talk about family every once in a while, just personal interests, kind of like what I was talking about earlier, that funny, fun kind of quiz that I did in my story. That was just more get to know me. And again, this might sound like, how does this have to do with her business? How does this support her business goals? Well, I'm an online educator and a coach. And so when people hire me, they really need to know that they're gonna get along with me, that they're gonna like me, that they're gonna have a good connection, that they can relate to me. So that type of content really does have a place. So like I said, one of the things that I love about Later is that they have this saved caption feature. So what I would do is I would go through and research different hashtag sets for each of those pillars. So maybe it's, for travel, traveling gram, traveling girl, she travels, whatever, save up all those hashtags into a saved caption so that it's easy for you when you do have content to just pop that in. You don't have to think too hard about it. And then same for all of the other pillars. I also like that Later has this visual scheduler so that I can kind of see visually, how my pillars are balancing out, because the key here is you don't want to have 3 content pillars, but only post about one of them, or, post about one for like 2 weeks and then the other one you totally pivot and then you're on something else. You want to really keep them a good mix and kind of try to keep them evenly split between your feeds. So the visual scheduler really helps with that too. Speaking of that, number 4, my 4th tip is to mix up your content types. So in addition to mixing up your content pillars, Instagram really likes it when you use a lot of their features. The more the better, and they're always coming up with something new. Reels is the newest, I think. I don't know, it's hard to keep track these days. Videos, Reels, stories, carousels. I mean, we can go on and on, right? And like I said, Instagram really does like it when you use a lot of those, especially the new features. So just try to think in your mind when you're planning out your content. Maybe for instance, you're gonna post a traveling picture. You got a nice picture of a sunset in California or something like that. Well, maybe in that same content set that you were pulling, you have a video of you driving down the Pacific Coast Highway. So maybe you're gonna swap that out instead if you haven't posted a video in a few days. Maybe you want to compile your pictures into a little reel or into a carousel. So just kind of try mixing things up. I know it can be overwhelming. I think the ideal that Instagram wants us to post is a little bit outrageous. They want us to basically post a different feature every single day, multiple times a day, and I just don't do that. What I do try to do though is I try to mix up my feed to where I'm posting a good combination of photos, reels, videos, and carousels as much as I can. And then I also just try to get active on stories every day, even if it's just sharing a little post here and there, sharing a little poll, talking to the camera with no makeup on and my glasses on and just hanging out, whatever it is. Those are kind of the rules that I try to stick to just to keep things fresh. Okay, and lastly, this part is really, really important, and I think a lot of times we just forget about it because we get busy and we're like, why isn't my content performing well? But we haven't looked at our analytics in a really long time, right? So Instagram does have native insights that you can go look at and see how your content is performing week over week. I definitely recommend just adding it to your calendar every Friday to spend 15 minutes going through your Instagram analytics if that's a big platform for you and something that you're really trying to grow. For clients, I personally pull a detailed report for them every single month and present it to them just so we're all on the same page and we can all plan for future campaigns. Later also, like I said, has analytics, which are displayed really beautifully and are really easy to navigate. So again, it's just a great thing to do. And what you want to look at when you look at these insights is you just want to see what was your top content. A lot of times it's shocking to me. I remember one time I did this and I was so shocked to see like a picture of a book that I took. I was not even thinking. I just snapped it with my iPhone, holding up a book on my couch. My couch was the backdrop of this picture. That was one of my most saved and most engaged with posts in like the whole summer, I think. I never thought about that. I never even realized that people liked it when I talked about books or resources that I was loving. So that told me post more of that content. So then I went ahead and created a reel about some of my favorite books. And I try to talk about it in my stories and I try to post more pictures of books. That kind of thing is something I never would have thought about if I didn't look at those insights. So pay attention to not only which of your posts were the most liked, the most saved, the most engaged with, but again, think back to those business goals. If your goal is revenue by way of clicks to your website or shoppable Instagram tags, look at those metrics. Look at which of your posts drove the most clicks over to your website. Because I know for me, a lot of times when I'm scrolling, I might click on something to purchase it without liking it. I do that all the time. So don't just pay attention to those vanity metrics like likes and saves and followers and things like that. Okay, so I hope that this was helpful. I hope it at least got you started when thinking about what to post on Instagram for yourself, for your clients, for anyone that you're posting on Instagram for. And again, I wanna say thank you to Later for partnering with me on this video. You can use my code to get a free month of their growth plan. It's a really fantastic tool. Highly recommend it. I'm gonna have a link for them down below as well. Thanks so much for watching today. If you enjoyed the video, thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.